do it by myself, and now I think I'm still having a small issue with that. What's happening? Why is it not working? It should. Is it not charged? What do you think?
Can I check that?
Yes, of course.
I mean, you don't really have any light to check this.
Everything is plugged. It should be. I'm like a kid. No, it doesn't. It should.
I can ask someone.
Bogosia? Bogosia is busy?
I think, yeah.
And everyone is busy, I think. Okay. You should. We would go again. Here you go. So, would you like to read it out loud?
Yeah.
So you have an idea about what's going on?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Sign a closing. DC is the medium-sized private limited company. DC has 3 main shareholders. It has been trading for 10 years. DC makes luxury dresses for women using production methods. DC has an excellent reputation for quality. A DC designer has a meeting with every customer to design a dress that satisfies the customer's individual needs, including choice of fabric and color. Cost-based pricing used with 50% added to the total cost. DC's employees are highly skilled and paid hourly rates. Time-based system. Ikram, one of the designers, he has just had a meeting with a new customer, Lydia. She wants him to design and makes a few dresses for her. Ikram has worked out for the following information for the dress. Okay, should I read the table?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
So you have just production times 20 hours, and it's paid hourly, $10 per hour, and the material cost is $250, and other costs such as packaging is $50 as well. So, as you are a little bit direct, Jenny, the managing director, wants to use DC's excellent reputation and move into a new market. Okay, Jenny wants to create a new range of DC branded trousers for women. She has developed some elements of marketing mix for the new trousers and see table 2. You have the product, quality trousers, distribution channel, sold in large shops and promotion branded with the DC logo. Jenny is waiting for a market research report, including feedback from a focus group. She thinks that the pricing strategy DC currently uses will not be appropriate for the new trousers. The new product range will be made using a batch production method. The production director Khalil has identified the machinery needed for the new production method. Khalil is worried about the problems that introducing the new production method will cause DC's employee. Okay? So let's first understand what is the difference between job production and batch production. They were doing the dresses with job production, and then they are going to move to doing trousers with batch production. Do you know the difference?
I know the difference. Yeah. One is using like people workforce, and the other one using machinery workforce.
Yes,
like
it's a little bit. In general, it's like that. But job production, you will take one piece by one piece and finish until you finish it. For example, you are the designer, you will design it, cut it, sew it, and try everything. Once you finish, you pass to another one. So one by one. But batch production is different. And you can use, for example, for a job machine, you can use a machine, job production, you can use a machine, okay? You can use a sewing machine, or for example, something, if you do tables, you do those robots.
Okay, I know the difference. They making all these things and then like...
The job, you have to finish completely one item before going to another.
Yeah, but on batch production, you're producing one piece of something, and then all these pieces from everyone collect them into one.
You can say so, yeah. For example, if you do batch production for trousers, for example, in this case, you would cut 50 legs, right legs, 50 left legs. You would cut 50 pockets, 50, and then you assemble them, okay? Those 50, a batch, a group, okay? Once you finish this group, you would go to another group, to another batch, to another quantity. So batch is quantity by quantity, assembling everything. Okay, this is the difference between job one by one and batch group by group. Okay, and mass production or flow production, when you do continually the same item 1 million or 10 million times. Okay, without interrupting your production. Job, batch, and flow production.
Okay.
So now, can you define for me the term shareholders? We are going to write it for everyone.
Term shareholders.
The meaning of shareholders.
Company has shares.
Exactly.
These people are shareholders, but here they are term shareholders, or it actually means that you can be a shareholder and then you will sell it and you're not a shareholder anymore. And you used to be a term shareholder.
Shareholders means that you bought some shares, okay? And if you are shareholder, okay, in this company there are only 3 shareholders, so they are like associated in the main company.
Yeah.
So shareholders, you own part of this company, and you can as well sell it. So you buy shares, you sell shares, and you have your point of view in it. So you have the right of voting. Okay. So shareholders. I'm always struggling with this. Okay, let's say that shareholders own parts or share of a business. Okay, he can sell, of course, and he has a voice, a right of voting, a right of decision. Okay, it means voting. Okay, in a certain case, he will have the right of voting. It means that if you have this assembly where you decide for it's a big corporation. The shareholders might be thousand shareholders, or maybe 2,000 shareholders. They all gather and take the same decision. This is the definition of shareholders. And what is the second question? What is focus group? That's a great question. When do we do a focus group?
Can I read in the...
Yes, of course. The focus group is in here. It might be paid by rate. Jenny, the marketing, wants to excellent leverage and move into a new market. Jenny wants to create a new range of DC brand trousers for women. She has developed some element of marketing mix, and then what she did, a market research report include feedback from a focus group. So Jenny is waiting for market research.
Probably the focus group with the people who made market research.
Exactly. So, deuxièmement, when you do a market research, okay, you might do qualitative or quantitative. Okay, you might study your market with two methods. Methods that are qualitative. Qualitative means the quality of the answers, and the quantitative means it's numerical. It means you have quantitative. Quantitative. And qualitative means that you are just, it's subjective. It has less weight than quantitative, but it's still something interesting to know. Just to touch the pulse of your researchees. For example, when you do qualitative, you can do interview. You interview your customer, okay? Focused interviews or deep interviews, okay? And those are in primary research, okay? I will write it later. Deep interviews, focus group as well. Focus group, what is focus group? Focus group is when you gather a group of customers and you ask them the question. It means that you give them the product, they would try it, and then you are, as a market researcher, standing with them, doing an interview with them, asking them questions to know what they think about your product. But you have to guide. Okay, you have to guide your interview. Okay, this is within a focus group. You can do as well observation. Okay. Actually, the same goes for quantitative. Okay, but quantitative, you are going to ask people, for example, do you like it? Do you like it? Like or dislike? Slightly like it. And you have range of and people would find will just choose the right answer for a deeply like, or deeply dislike. And here is no
like a zero.
Yeah, zero, like no feelings. And here, like, just like. And then when you do a research, you are going to quantify those by -2 to +2, okay? Giving this a 0. And then you are calculating with appropriate methods quantitatively how much your customer will answer, and all those is to know the intention. All those research is to know the intention, okay, the behavior, oh la la, intention, feelings, behavior. It depends on your research, okay? Behavior. Oh là là, franchement. I'm a bad writer, am I not? Alors, putain. Behavior. So feelings, intention, behavior, reactions. Okay. All those. D'accord? And this is done within a primary research. Okay? Okay, it should be this. I don't know what they said. This is a method of primary research used by business to get a group of customers together. Okay, this is the answer for focus group. Focus group is when you gather, is when you have a group of customers. Okay. And then you make an interview with them and then ask them question. Asking them question to have their reaction, considering to know the reaction, considering a product. Okay, and with that you can understand your customer needs, your how they would react to the price, how they would react to everything. Okay. The third question is, refer to table 1 and other information, calculate the price of the dress for Lydia. So we do have a table 1, and in this table we have production time. Alors, 2, 3. Production time.
20 hours.
Equals
220
hours. Okay. And the hourly rate is $10 per hour. Okay. And then, do you think it's enough to calculate the cost of production? Because they ask for the calculated price of the dress for Lydia. Okay.
It should be 200 plus 250, 450 plus 50, 500. But it should be the cost-based pricing used with 50% added to the total cost.
Definitely.
750. 750.
Exactly. Why? Because you add 50% of. Parfait. Très très bien. I'm not so sick.
Maybe.
You're fine.
I'm kind of sleepy.
I know.
I'm not sleepy.
Because of medicine?
because I used to have a temperature and I can't sleep when it's like really hot.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and I've tried to sleep with the open window, but it's not helping at all.
No, don't do that because you're going to. Okay. Material cost equal $250, and other cost, packaging, other cost equal $50. So the cost-based pricing is basically 20 by 10 plus 250 plus 50 equal. Alors 200 plus 200, ça fait 200 plus 250, 450 equal $500. Okay, but now we need to apply a benefit margin, which is 50%. Okay, so 500 by 1.5, okay, because you rise with 50%, equal $750. Perfect, very good. So explain one payment method other than time-based, because they said here, and they are paid, employees are highly skilled and pay hourly rates, a time-based system. What do you know about time-based system, and which other than time-based system than hourly pay do you know?
I don't really never have an idea what it could be.
It's fine.
I mean the hourly pay method, it's not really good because it's actually really nice if you have high skilled employees, because they have this motivation, because they're high skilled, they will work, they will receive the money, but also they can use how I can say it, like item paid building maybe system. I mean, if you...
Yes, that's good. Yeah, rather than be paid by hour, they would be paid by item. Perfect. So by item, by product
made, yeah.
Product made. Okay. What else?
What else?
They can be paid completely differently.
They can
wage base.
They can be
like
cooperative workers.
Monthly or weekly, rather than hourly. Okay.
Or they can be a cooperative with the shareholders.
Exactly. They can be They can have benefit, or having percentage of benefit.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say percentage of benefit. Percentage of benefit. Okay, and we call that and bonuses. Okay, that different way of paying your rather than paying them by hour, you would pay them by item, and that would rise what?
Productivity.
Not only the productivity, but also the
profit.
The quality.
Quality.
Yes, the quality of your item. Because if you pay them item by item, every time they finish an item and you see that there is nothing to talk about it, like there is no drawback, there is no flaws, there is no everything is perfect and well done, you make your product more valuable okay, with bigger quality, higher quality.
I think here should be another like bonus from here. I mean, if you working like for paid hours, I mean you can make like 3 items for 1 hour, and you will be paid for this, and you will make this 3 items. But yeah, but for example, if you will be paid by item, you in the 1 hour you can make like 5 of them.
Yeah, but the thing is, what if he would rush to make? You said that he would be paid by hour, by item. Okay. What if he rushes in doing one item and he doesn't do it well? So it's better to pay him because you don't consider the time he has spent on the item. You just consider the quality of the item, and you pay him like this lady. This lady would pay you not with the hours. She would pay you for the dress. Actually, she's not considering the hours passed in making this product, but she would just pay 750 for the quality. This is what you would do as a CEO. You would just consider the quality of the product and pay it for that. Okay, or we'll give him a bonus. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So the answer here is base rates. Okay, so product made or base rate, piece rate. Okay, this is the same thing. You have salary, like monthly and weekly.
Usual.
Okay. Commission, we forgot that. Commission. Every time you produce something, you would be paid for that, and a small commission if it's a high quality product.
And if it's sold.
And if
it's sold. I mean, it don't have any sense. I mean, if you made the profit and it's high quality product, you'll be paid for this. It means like peaceful. But commission should be if you produce something, and if it's sold, you'll.
Yes, yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
Commission is on the price of selling, of course. So bonus, we said that. So commission for designer per dresses, and bonus linked to the profit paid for DC. More sales of designer clothing will lead to bonuses paid, and similar approach for performance related pay and profit sharing. I think that we have all of them here: benefit, bonuses, commission, salary based, and piece rate. Okay, so the next question would be analyze 2 human resources. If you are tired or anything else, or you want to have a cup of tea or water, we would stop that. Okay, just tell me. Analyze 2 human resources problem that DC might experience from the introduction of the new batch production method. They were doing one by one. Okay, job production, so one item by one item, and then they would move to batch production, like 100 trousers at a time. What do you think? What would be the problem within the company?
Human resources. There will be not enough of human resources.
What if they do have, like, they have already 400. Oh yes, and it has been said here. The new product range will be made using a batch production method. The production director Khalid has identified the machinery needed for the new production method. Okay, is worried about the problem that introducing the new production method will cause DC and employee. So he would buy the machinery. Okay. So you go from job production to a big machinery to do a lot. How would the employee react to this?
I can say that if I would be the high qualified, high skilled guy, and I used to produce this really expensive clothes for women for like 5-10 years, doesn't matter. And if the boss will say that you will have less machinery and you will produce it like in the usual, not usual, but most of the companies producing, I will say that I'm high skilled and I can be more useful somewhere else. Because it means if they will work with machinery, it means that the skills are not that useful anymore, and they will be paid less.
That might be exactly. So the skills would be lost. Okay, they would not completely lost, but sometimes you would have some default on the product, not as perfect as the one they used to. So DC would lose the shining of her brand. Okay, so the skilled person would feel like it's their fault that this product has been made like this. So basically, that would affect their morals. Okay, they would be like, oh, we've been put aside, and now they are producing that, and then they used us like to launch a nice brand, and now they are using a machinery because now they have a nice brand and everyone knows them. But is this product as perfect as the one we were doing? So that would affect their moral, like you said. The second one is, like you said, de-skilling the product, because the machine is not a job production. Job production means high skill. Machinery and batch production is low skill. Okay, de-skilling. So we are going to write that. B3, ou this is C. C. Okay, close that. C is moral of the employees will go low. Okay, moving to batch production. Okay, and de-skilling the product. De-skilling, how do you write the F? De-skilling. This skills, de-skillings. Okay, shifting to machinery production will reduce the quality of the product. And this will affect as well the employees. And what else? What we just? Oh yes, training needed. That may cost money, and that would affect as well the employees. Like, you're not using their skills; they have to learn something new, like using this machine and using. So the training is needed. That would create a fear of change within the employees. Are they going to change us, or to go for lower labor, like lower cost labor of change, to shift for lower cost labor, and a lot of things actually. They are not having as much money, as much work, or okay. So basically, it's that about the employees. Analyze two human resources problem that DC might experience from the introduction of the new batch production methods. Okay, human resources management. So, what do you think that this introduction of the new batch production will will create within DC?
Problems.
Always, always. When you shift to something new, when you shift to implement something, a new strategy, you always face problems. So what you need to do is, like a CEO, like a human resource manager. Okay, you are the new. What would you do?
I'll probably change all the structure to the machinery one. It means that these skilled guys, because they're skilled, they already should know how to use machinery. And because I need a new batch production method, it means that I need more employees. I will call them, and they will be taught by the skilled guys, and they will all work together. I mean, not to create different parts of the company, like DC batch production and DC
job production.
To create their own all one. It doesn't mean that you have this, or that you have only one type of.
Yeah, I got what you mean. But do you think that DC can afford to hire other employees? They should rely on the same employees to do both jobs, and give them maybe more money if they start with doing batch production. You will ask them to do batch in certain time, because it's quantity by quantity. You do batch, and once they have an order for job production, they would do job production each at a time. But how this would affect DC? Okay. Okay, because look, analyze 2 human resources problem that DC might experience from the introduction of new batch production method.
Okay, they will need to change the.
We did that. Discuss a suitable pricing strategy that does. Oh, sorry for that. We did that.
I mean, you asking about something else. I was like thinking maybe.
I'm sorry, we did that. Discuss suitable pricing strategy that DC could use for the new ranch trousers. Okay.
They will definitely need to change it. It can't be the similar one.
Yeah, so what do you need to consider? So now you need
pricing strategy for item.
Exactly, you need a new strategy.
Okay, salary, but it can't be out of this.
For the new item, okay?
Yeah.
So, you have a new product, okay? This is what we saw. You have a new product, you have a new distribution channel, and you have a new promotion. So, what is this suitable pricing? How are you going to study your pricing? How are you going to introduce your item with the right price? Because you are using high-skilled item. And now you are selling not high quality, not as high quality as the first one, but something lower, okay? So how are you going to price it according to all what is surrounding you? Let's start by this.
It definitely will be
distribution channel. What do you think? How are you going to introduce your?
Actually, as I know, sold in a large shops. It means you don't really have your own shop.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it's high qualified, usually large shops are not charging like a lot for selling this, because I mean, as I know, large shops are buying something from you as a company and then selling this.
Yes. So they will add their own their own benefit margin.
Yeah.
So how you are going to think about your pricing? You're pricing your item.
I will do this. In the start, it should be lower.
Lower, considering, yes, that's a good idea.
Lower than it could be to receive profit. It should be in a zero. Comparing this with your profit will be zero.
You can't.
Yes, I can, because they used to. Actually,
they can lower the profit, but they can't do zero profit. It's impossible. It's a good idea what you said first, okay? It's really a good idea. They should do it cheap in the first, in the first step to introduce your product. But cheaper than what? Than
the previous product.
Not only the previous product. This is the first one.
Product.
Okay.
And the opponent's product. I don't know.
The competitor.
Yeah, but
okay. So they need. Oh la la. So what they need to consider competition. Okay. Competition. Okay. For example, competition is doing it at £20, $20. It's a trouser, or $25. Okay. Why not considering going to $20? Okay. So what the distribution channel will do is they will have $5 more for their own profit. So you are going to lower your own profit to the benefit of your distribution channel. Okay, it was a good idea to reduce the price, reduce your profit. So one, reduce profit.
I'm talking about this from this side. I mean, you have this.
Don't consider this the dress, because dress was like on the top. Okay.
But it's still the same company.
Yes, it's same company.
They have the same budget, and if this company is working for zero profit, and then their cash flow is okay, and they still can work. They still can produce this. They'll produce, but not more, because they can't afford it. But they will still have this profit from this high qualified process, and because they sell in a really cheap product, everyone will buy it. And then when it will cost £5 more or $5 more, nobody will care about this. And now they can start again.
Yes, it's really a good idea, but you can't in a business never underestimate your product. Even more if you have already branded it, like you are getting rid of. It's like getting rid of it. I was having a business, and the first advice my father gave to me was never give it for free. Understand? So it's not free. Actually, this one is not free. It's you are saying don't take profit, but you are considering, you are comparing the high-scale dress to this batch production trousers. They are not the same quality. Of course, those are not going to cost the same price. Okay?
No, I'm not comparing them.
Yeah.
I'm taking them together.
Yeah, but they are not as well done as the dresses, because they are done with machines. Okay?
You don't really get what I mean, actually. I think so.
I think that you said produce, do the same, sell them with the same cost price, like 500, like it was a trend. No, I'm not talking. For example, if they cost you for the production $20, you would sell them with $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you always have electricity to pay, everything to pay. So you always, and you have to give, you pay taxes, you pay...
taxes, salaries, all these expenditures are included in the pricing strategy of each item.
What about your shareholders? Shareholders always want
So
profit.
three guys or the friends. If it was like 1,000 of them, I can say that's unreal.
Yeah.
But if it's only 3 people, they should understand the same, like the situation. I mean,
I'm asking you another question. I got your point. Okay, considering now the customer point of view, you give it, for example, this trouser would cost you £20 to the production, considering all taxes, electricity cost, hand cost, everything. They would cost you £20, okay? And then you're going to you want to rise the price because you don't do it always for free, okay? Almost for free. I mean, no benefit margin. The second time, the second season, you would rise the price for unit benefit.
Yeah.
So you take 50% of the benefit of the margin. You apply £10, $10. It will rise to 30. What would your customers say? Oh, it was 20 and now it's 30. I won't buy it. I would go to the competitor. What do you think?
Why it should be priced for £10?
Because this is your benefit. You are doing business to have benefit.
Benefit of 50%. That's the really, really high benefit.
They all apply 58%. Do you think iPhone is made with £700?
iPhone is made for $150, not more.
Exactly.
I'm talking about clothes and stuff.
Okay, even clothes.
Clothes are made usually from 10 to 15 pounds for everything like trousers, because all these materials are really cheap.
Yeah, I know, but they are done in this country, not in Bangladesh or in Stanley. So they are skilled and they have machinery and they have to pay everything, okay?
Okay, if it's done in the UK, you can just, for example, put your price as you like and like write it like with the giant letters like made in UK. Okay, everyone will buy it. You don't really need to make your price lower than competitors. Because all of this clothing made usually not in the country you sell.
So now I have another question. What if you don't take a benefit margin and then your trousers are far less expensive than your competitor? What do you think your competitor would react? How would your competitor react?
They will go to the same. They will make exactly the same price.
They might find a way to beat you in some way. Okay.
That's why
create, for example, bad publicity for you, saying that you are distracting their business. They would ask the suppliers to not provide you. They would do something bad to you.
That's why I'm saying that, because to fight with the competitors is the worst problem you can ever have.
Exactly.
Because if it's your competitor and you just like join this business is much more powerful than yours. It means that you will have less chances to win. That's why I'm saying you should do the price like exactly the same and keeps it like with the zero profit, for example, because they will have much cheaper quality of materials. Because I can't believe that company who's selling this clothes for this price will produce it in the UK. I can't believe it because it's unreal. If you're doing this, you will have zero profit, or you can make the price as high as you want, as you need, and put the because it's like marketing, you can put the giant label made in UK and everyone from UK will buy it. Not even from the UK. It's like
So you mean by that if it's made in UK, you can go for the price you want.
Yeah.
But if it's not made in UK, you just adjust your price to your competitor being lowest. Is it that?
to make it, if you
You don't take profit.
No, you should make your price completely similar to
competitors. Yes, that's a good idea. Okay, that's a really good idea.
You don't really have to fight with them because
but this is really good. But now we consider the distributor channel, okay, the distributor thinking. He would say, I'm having already this brand, everyone knows this brand, why do I need to stock another brand if I don't gain anything? So how would you react to that? You go to your distributor and tell him, it's up to you now.
Distributor.
I'm the distributor, I'm the shop owner. And you are coming to me saying, I would like to sell my product in your shops. And I would say, okay, but I'm already having this company, brand selling their trousers in my shop. And if I sell yours, I will be overrun by stocks.
I will go to another distributor.
He would say the same thing. You have to face me. You have to face me and propose something to me that would make me, okay, put your product in my. What would you say?
I can say it's not the best option to go to your competitor's distributor. Because can you imagine, like you?
Can you find a shop that there is no competitors in it?
I can say that in this structure, we're closing. You actually can find a shop, like a big shop, who's not selling clothes of your straight competitor. I mean, it can be a company who's selling like much cheaper or much more expensive, and you will be somewhere in the middle. I mean, it means that there's
you are narrowing your options of finding shops. Why not coming to me and telling me, okay, this product you are selling is 30 pounds. I will reduce my profit, and you will take this this difference for you. Okay, so I'll go back to what you said earlier. Okay, you make it like a trial selling, giving an offer to your distributor to take the difference, but this one trial, okay? So your competitor won't be really mad, it's just penetrating the market. Once you penetrate the market, once you brand your new product, everyone would know it. You go back to your initial price, that is your competitor price, for example. Maybe more expensive because you have a big brand, okay? More expensive, so your customer would go to your product if they want. Does it make sense for you?
Yeah, but as I can see, it shouldn't actually work. You know why? Because if you enter in the market, like a new market, all these expenditures, it actually sounds like all my clothes made of gold. As a result, it's actually unreal to sell them for this price I want.
But they are selling dresses for 750.
It's really different.
I'm completely okay with you. It's completely different, but they do have a brand. Like Nike would go for. They are already there. But if Nike wasn't doing T-shirt, like sport T-shirt, and they would go to a sport T-shirts, okay, and they start first to penetrate the market to make their production known, and then they would hide their product. And it's up to you, to the customer, to accept it or to go for the competitor. Okay? So, but you will find people who know already your brand and go for it. Okay? Without compromising with the price you were expecting. Actually, you studied, you did your research, market research for it, And later you can skim, you can find, you can make sales. So people would, you go for, you look for more customers to sell all your product. Okay, this is strategies. You start first low to penetrate the Europe market, and then once people know your product, you would higher your price, and then you skim it. You try to penetrate by ways to have price tag strategies. Okay, for example, for kids, for family, if you buy by batch, if there is pricing strategy to adopt to be able to run. So we will answer to this. You have to reduce profit. You have to consider competitor. Okay, reduce profit to market penetration. This is we are resuming what we were saying. Okay, penetration. Okay, skimming. What is skimming? Skimming the price or price discrimination.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you can't remember some really simple things.
Okay, skimming price is when you do sales. Okay, yeah. You start by a high price, and then at the end you would find people that want to wear your brand in the right season. Okay, and then you would apply 2 or 3 sales at the middle of the season, at the end of the season, and at 3/4 of the season, and at the end of the season. For example, the beginning of the season, it will be really high. Okay, and the middle of the season, you would reduce it. You made sales, for example, for 20%. At the end of the season, at the third 3/4 of the season, you would sell it for 50. And then at the end of the season, you would sell it for 20. You always find people to buy your product. Rather than wearing it for the beginning of the season, they would wear it the next season. People, it's up to their incomes. Okay, they want a nice brand, but they don't want it the right season. Like, I'm wearing something new. They would wear it next year. And price discrimination is, do you know what is price discrimination?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. I would sell, for example, and give you the beginning, you will give me the end. I would sell this product for £20, and then you make a discriminating price when you sell by batch. What you do is
like making the price lower.
Exactly, you reduce. For example,
it's like 1 for 5 and 5 for
exactly
30.
Exactly. Okay. For example, in Tesco, sometimes there are some price discriminating. What they do is before receiving another quota, before receiving another batch of product, for example, cookies. I like those cookies. Sometimes they are £1.25, and sometimes they are 65p. And you have 2 for £1.25. Okay, so I will wait until they are 65p, and I will buy 6 or 7 or maybe 8 and keep them until they reduce again. Okay, so doing what? They're doing the price discriminating. So they would reduce it like for half, or just to find another batch of people. For example, flight ticket. I would sell full price for adults and
it's usually half price for
kids. Okay.
like I have the question for
Yes,
you.
yes.
Probably I've talked about that with you before. I have different point of view, and actually some companies have. If they're a flight, and if it's like going closer and closer to the flight time, and
Yes.
it's like 5 hours before a flight,
Yes.
and you have 3 tickets left.
Yeah.
You will sell it for a lower or for the high price?
No, for a lower price.
I have a different point of view.
Why?
Okay. If you have like, for example,
What if you don't find a customer for lower, for higher, but you find a customer for lower? Would you go 3 seats, 3 seats, 3 free seats, or would you go fully?
okay, if you reduce the price, it actually doesn't matter because it's a flight. I mean, if you need to go somewhere, you will anyway go somewhere. Because you need to go. I mean, you have a meeting at 5, and it's 11, and it's like in Amsterdam, for example. You need a flight at 12, or from 1 till 3.
Does it happen often?
For example, for my dad, it happened like all the time. Because he needs to travel between Minsk and Moscow, which is like 1 hour flight, like twice a week.
Let me tell you, I'm sure your father have Fidelity, this card, because my father was working was having a business and working as well with a flight company back in my country, and he was having this Fidelity card, and this Fidelity card is already a price skimming card. Like if you do like several hours, like for example, 100 of miles, 100,000 of miles, you will have 1 ticket for free. I'm sure your father, as a businessman, would have a skimming price, discriminating price for his flight. That's first of all.
He have this, but he's not using this. I mean, he used to use this, and he actually get the flight for free, almost for free, to the US, which is like first class. It was like really expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it's not about this. I mean, if you have the price of the ticket for 300 euros, for example, from Minsk to...
Is it 300? So it's not a low cost.
But because Belarusian company, it's not a low coster.
Okay.
I mean, it's actually a high qualified company. That's the only one company in Belarus, but it's not. It's really good, I can say. For the low coster, yeah, that's the great idea to reduce the price.
Okay. But for good companies, they won't reduce it, but they won't sell it higher. They would keep the same price.
Usually, which is Russian and Belarusian companies do. And I think it's the great idea.
Yeah.
Flights between Minsk and Moscow, usually at the middle of the day, is for the people who don't like to get up early, and they have things to do at the evening in the other city. And usually they're businessmen and they have lots of money. What they do, and you can see the price difference.
Yes.
It's actually $200 or euros.
So you are discriminating higher.
Yeah,
because you can discriminate higher.
They're making it 5 times higher for $7.
So you know that you can discriminate higher.
Yeah.
It's not only because, look, for example, certain countries, this is a price. You don't see? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
And this is quantity. For this country, they would make it like this. This is sales and this is demand. And the price would be like this. And for another country, because the demand is bigger, this is discriminating price, okay? They would make it, if it's
opposite,
like this, okay? They would make it here. okay, for a lower price. So it depends on which company, which country you are, okay? This is for UK, for example, this is for France. If the product is existing in UK and not existing in France, they will higher the price, okay? It's up to you to discriminate higher or lower. But for a low-cost flight, you will discriminate lower, okay? For a good company, generally you keep the flight the same price. But I'm not sure. I will look for it and come back to you to tell you which company would go higher in discriminating their price, okay?
Yeah, probably the problem is that
In flight company, okay? Because you will find this, but generally with not with flight, okay? For example, I will give you an example. Okay, something that is existing in
jewelry, for example.
jewelry or wine.
Yeah, wine.
Wine.
Great example.
Wine in England is more expensive than wine in France. People would go. So you are skimming higher, okay? Discriminating higher. Sorry. There is also something I was about to say. Oh God.
For example, like we've made 100 of these shoes, we were selling them for 500, but now it's only 2 left, and all of this plenty on the hands.
Exactly.
We will do the 1,000 price.
Exactly.
It works like yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, your customer should not be close. You should have different customer, okay, to go higher in discriminating your prices. Okay, this is the first condition to discriminate higher, because you can discriminate lower, presenting those advantages like take an abonnement. How do you say an abonnement? When you take an abonnement is like when you buy one ticket for four viewing. For example, the cinema.
I know what you mean.
What is that?
I know what's in Russian, but I can't remember what's the name of that. It's like a
season, a package, exactly. When you do a packaging for selling something, you would always reduce. Like, okay, you can buy it for £20, okay, and you got all the cinema. You can enter all the cinemas, the films, but not at the rush hours. Okay, you can go to see your films between 2 and 5, and between 10 and 12. You have the right to take. This is a way to discriminate your prices. Let's move further, okay? But is it understood here? Yeah. So I will go back to you, okay? I will check the prices for flights, okay? I will go and see, for example, Arab Emirates, Aeroflot, what else? The German one, the big one.
I don't remember KLM. No, it's not.
British Airways, but British Airways is.
Can do this.
Yeah, I will just check few of them.
You can see this.
What is your father company?
Aeroflot.
Aeroflot, okay.
Or Belavia, like
Belarusi.
Yeah,
okay.
Belarusian.
Belavia. Okay.
I mean, probably the reason is that we have 3 flights a day, 1 or 2 with Belavia and 1 with Aeroflot.
Okay.
And probably that's the reason, because only 3 flights. And it's like one is really early and one's really
late. So the one in the middle would cost more. Let's see that, okay? So now we go further and building gardens, okay? Would you like to read it?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. BG is a partnership owned by and managed by Barry and Michael. BG is in the tertiary sector. Tertiary.
Okay.
BG is a landscape gardening business. Its revenue comes from 2 main services, that is provide to customer. Landscaping, BG redesign customers' gardens, for example, by adding new features such as water fountains or sitting areas. Basic gardening service such as digging and grass cutting. Barry and Michael work well together. Barry deals with marketing and agrees contracts on price with the customer. He also manages the finance. Michael focuses on the technical side for a business such as garden design. He also has responsibility for full-time employees. Michael has come to Barry with a problem. One of the large lawn mowers.
Lawn mowers, it was the machine that would cut the grass.
Used to cut the grass. Yeah, has broken down and needs replacement. The cost of a new lawn mower machine will be 10,000. Michael has asked Barry if there is the finance level for capital expenditure. Barry needs to determine the best source of finance to use for the new lawn mower. BG has a low level of working capital. Barry has been looking at the link's financial accounts. See table 3. Okay, revenue 120,000, cost of sale 9. Expenses 20, profit for the year 10,000. Okay.
So I will read. One of BG's competitors, Lance Rush, has recently been in trouble. A customer made a serious complaint about the damage that an employee caused with cutting her lawn. The business had to pay a large amount in compensation to the customer. Barry believes that this may increase demand for BG's services in the local market. So, define the term demand. What is demand?
There is supply, there is demand. I mean, supply is how you have, and demand how people need.
Yes, exactly. The demand is what people need and what is available as well. Okay, so let's write demand. Let's go further.
Is the demand like this, right? Supply here and demand here.
It depends. It might be like this. Okay. If no, it's demand like this. If the price fall, the demand would be higher.
Right.
And sometimes the demand is just a flat line. Okay. Okay. So 2-1. It's 2-1. Okay. 2. This is building gardens. Alors, A1, AI. So demand. What is demand? Is quantity or amount that consumer is willing to purchase, buy, okay, is willing to buy, okay, at a given price, okay. So, like Nikita said, we just need to, so this is the price, and this is the quantity, okay. Generally, if the price is high, the demand would be low, and if the price will lower, the demand would be higher. So we do have this. Sometimes we have this, okay, because in this case you have market penetration. Okay, market penetration. This is a strategy to introduce your product, but basically this is for a well-known product. Okay, this is for a well-known product.
Is it demand?
This, yes, this demand. Okay. For example,
I'm trying to like imagine how it can be in the real world.
In this one, I tell you. You want to launch a new product, okay? You want to launch a new product. Launch a new product. So this part is your strategy, d'accord? And then people would just, it will start here actually. This is your strategy, okay? This is strategy and branding. Okay? And then people would know about it and start to buy it. And then you reach what? The maturity of your product. Okay?
Okay, well.
And then you would see that the quantity is falling. So this is the time to introduce another product. Okay? I'll tell you an example.
It's kind of like long term.
It might be a long term, but it's always demand. Okay? It's price and quantity. So it's so for example, I like phones because I am in love with my phone. I can do everything with it, okay? And there is a nice example. Let's see Samsung, okay? Samsung is here launching a new Samsung S9, S10, je sais pas quoi, S11. So they would brand it first, okay? And then they would launch it. People with high income would buy it in here. Okay, they would try it, and here it would reach the highest quantity of selling.
I can say that if Samsung will launch a new phone, the demand line will be like a flying rocket to the space, like straight up.
Okay, they would do that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yes, this is for common. Okay, you are always going to a precise example. It would do that, okay? But here, in 6 months, it will reach the maturity, and then the quantity would fall.
Yeah.
Okay? This is demand as well. It depends on price and quantity. If price and quantity are related, it means it's demand. Okay, so this is what we have written here. Demand is quantity amount that consumer is willing to purchase at a given price. And you have prime customer and then second customer. Prime customer would buy it at the highest price. And then the customer would, for example, I would not buy the iPhone 10 because I bought a nice car, okay, directly from the house. And I paid for it much, really much. And then once I needed to sell it because I wanted another brand, it has been devaluated with 35. If I calculate, it's almost 35%. And I only drove it 1.5 years. Most brands of nice car do that. So I said to myself, next time, don't buy it from the house, a new brand, buy it like secondhand. Just so you would keep those 30% for you and do much with it. Okay. So this is what I'm doing. I never buy the last iPhone. I always keep it like the second or third, or understand me. So I'm second-hand buyer, not second-hand, second category of buyers. Okay, so it depends on how you consider, how you penetrate your market, but it's always about price and quantity. The second question is the term tertiary, sector tertiaire, tertiary sector.
I have no idea.
Okay. I'm sure you are going to have an idea if I explain to you this.
Okay.
Let's see if something comes to you. Okay. In business and everything, we have 3 sectors. First, second, and third. Here, we are talking about services. Okay, the third sector is services. If we do a small illustration of what is demand and supply. Okay? And this is what? Transformational process. So basically this one is the sector tertiaire, okay? Oh God, to pronounce it in English, tertiary sector, okay? Third sector. So I presume this one is?
First.
Bravo, that's it, okay? So supply is first. And this?
Second.
Exactly, second. So basically, what is supply? You are supplying, and I wrote here, transformational process. So now it's up to you to tell me what is the first.
Supply is producing, actually, right? Producing. Or this is producing.
Yes, transformational process. Yet and
okay, yeah.
Okay. So what is first sector?
It can't be just raw materials. It should call something like
Raw material.
like an action or not. Okay, then
this is actions is like in here. If you go to the market and sell actions and buy action, it's still the third sector because it's services. This is only services. Okay? And this is process. So manufacturing is the second, but you have to find for me the first sector. Primary sector. What is primary sector? And define it.
Can you repeat, please?
Look, I said that the third sector, it is the sector for services, okay? Where you provide services or what else? Oh God, service and products, but finished products. Like what you are wearing is a finished product. You go and buy it from the third tertiary sector. But before buying it like finished, you are going to the second sector.
Production.
It's manufacturing. Manufacturing is but before manufacturing, what were you having?
Yeah, the raw material.
Raw materials. Okay. Define raw materials. For example.
For example.
Yes.
Cotton.
Exactly. So you need to harvest something, okay? So veggies, agriculture, there's something that grows, les hydrocarbures, petrol and gas and all that, the raw materials are the primary sector. So supply is primary sector, manufacturing second, and selling product or services is tertiary. Okay. The second question is, refer to table 3, calculate the gross profit margin.
What's the formula?
So shall we write just a little bit about here, and you think about profit margin. So 2A2 égale tertiary sector is made of businesses that sells good goods, products, or services okay, that's it. Taken from the second tertiary. Ok, so now, la question suivante serait la question numéro, explain one way, no, refer to the B1.
Calculate the gross profit margin.
B1.
I can't remember the formula, but I can actually guess that it should be revenue divided by revenue plus or minus cost of sales or expenses.
Yes, it's that. It's almost that. Okay, so gross profit per revenue equal what? Give me numbers.
30. 30, 30.
Gross profit is
120.
minus
90.
90. So gross profit and revenue is
120.
yes. So alors 120 moins 90 sur 90. 120 moins 90, 120 minus 90 égale 90, 110, 120, 30. 30 divisé par 90 equal, non, par 120, sorry, 120.
Opposite, 120 minus, no wait.
120. Sorry, 120. Is it not that? It's that. It's gross profit on revenue. Gross profit is revenue minus cost of sales on revenue.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, sur 120. So it equal à 0,25%. It's quite good. Okay? 25%. Gross profit margin is good. Okay? It could have been better if it was like 40 or 40 or 50, but it's good. Okay? Then, so explain one way that BG could improve its profit margin. Okay? So profit margin equal GP, gross profit, over revenue. So this is 0,25. How would you improve those numbers? Improve the numbers is mean, non, pas oulala, c'est 0,25 ou bien it's 25%. Okay? How do you improve it?
Improve gross profit.
Bravo.
Oh. Or reduce revenue.
Reduce?
Cost of sales.
Exactly. That's it. So it is either rise gross profit or reduce costs of production. Okay? Cost of sales. That's it. There is nothing more to add to it. Okay, basically it's that. We gave two ways. Okay, here they just ask us to give one way. So second, the third question, question C, is analyze two possible sources of finance that BG could use for the new lawnmower.
Is it that simple? Bank loan, credit, ask your friends, family, doesn't matter.
Yes, let's write them. It's good, yeah. Bank loan. But yeah, bank loan,
It's
they
actually
would.
credit.
Credit. Okay, let bank loan. Okay, make so rise their liabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What else? They can rent.
What?
They can rent this thing.
Buy it and rent it? Rent what?
That's
The men lower?
yeah.
Lower lawn mowers? But they didn't buy it yet.
No, they can rent it.
Oh, no, they want to buy it. But they want to buy it, but they don't know how to pay for it. And you are asked to make a possible source of finances.
Then they can make like a list of their favorite clients who can make them like a prepayment for like.
Can you ask that? Can you ask that? Yes, it's good. Actually, it's good. But
no,
what?
They actually, I mean.
And reduced price?
Yeah, kind of a reduced price, but receive it like half a year before. I mean,
would you do that?
Me, for example,
no, not as a CEO.
As a person who.
As a customer.
Why not? I mean, for example, I did it like once when I used to stay at home for a week alone.
Mm-hmm.
I called to the pizza delivery and said, "Can you please
provide me?"
Yeah, just bring me pizza at 5 a.m.
Yeah. PM or AM?
I don't know. Just
in the morning or in the afternoon?
Afternoon.
PM.
PM at 5 p.m. every day until this date. They will say, "Okay, we can do this. Then we will just make them out order every day. Doesn't matter."
But did you pay less or?
I actually paid them less because, as a result, they gave me at the last 2 days. They gave me an extra pizza because I had this point.
So this is skimming, no, discriminating price.
Yeah, and I've paid them straight before in the how you call this? They have like a pizzeria, but in here they have delivery going up from here.
Yeah, deliverable, for example.
I just paid for all of them before, and
they
gave me 2.
Yeah, definitely not eating healthy.
I mean, I didn't really have enough time to go somewhere and eat something like more healthy or to cook. It would, but I knew that I had money this time for a week, but probably I can spend them before. And
yes, I can understand.
That's why I did.
So you just put money aside to be able to eat.
Yeah, I mean, I could like put
you
them
are
somewhere.
prudent. It's nice.
I could put them somewhere, but I know myself, and if I will need them, I will take them. I will just forget it.
Food.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's the problem.
Okay, so in this case, yes, it's possible to do that, but the thing is, look, the profit for each year is 10,000. It means if you are price discriminating your product, so you would have less price. So your profit would not reach $10,000 per. So you might need 2 years to pay for this. Okay, is your customer following you for 2 years? This is the first question. Okay.
in a local market, yeah. Because every company, like each company have they, like, how you call them, customers. I mean, what they can do, they can they can buy it as a leasing car, car machine, doesn't matter, and at the same time they can ask their clients for this, and it means that they will have this transfer from the client.
Debt factor.
What I
Debt
want to say,
factoring.
kind of.
Yeah. Like you sell your bill to a third person, and then this third person would, because the third factoring is what is here, seller, buyer.
Okay, what I'm trying to say, machine costs 10,000. They have 10,000 per year as a profit. That's crazy. They can buy it like that easy. They need to have a credit on it, and I think they can ask their favorite clients to do this thing
Investment.
for them.
Okay.
Like an investment.
Okay, so we would write that, ask
Because it's,
client
yeah.
for contribution.
Yeah, because it's like a bank loan. I mean, you have
as investment.
Yeah, you have you have a bank as a customer, and you're like this company like VG. It's as a guy who wants to loan some money from the bank from the customer, but you just can't take the credit that easy. You need to have this person who will give money if you can't.
Yes. So
And
basically, what you are doing is selling prepaid. Prepaid. No, we don't say word. Prepaid. Services. Okay. That might be helpful. Yeah. What else?
Leasing. They can increase profit. I don't know.
No, they just give up the profit, because here you have already the expenses. I think that they are taking their salary.
They actually.
Okay, they should invest more. Okay, invest more and have more shares.
Maybe.
Invest. No, I would formulate it differently. So the shareholders, the partners, partners might give up. Not give up. I'm not a good talker in English. Give up their profit. Okay. And invest in the lawn mowers. Okay. Because there is 10,000. Okay. What else?
Savings.
Savings.
Because they can because it's not like a fresh brand new company. It means that they had profit before. They should have some saving to use them. I don't know.
Or they can borrow from friends. Make crowdfunding. Okay. Crowdfunding from friends, family, or just okay. I think that it's all what we can say. I didn't follow what they said here because it's more analyzing than yes, because you have to give your own way of of discuss this. Okay, analyze two possible sources of finance. So they can you can just develop that. Okay, two of them. Okay, so the next question is discuss. Here you have to be more eloquent. Okay, because it's 11 points. 11 points.
11
And yes, exactly. Discuss the advantage and disadvantage to Barry and Michael of the business being a partnership. Okay. Advantage of partnership.
BG is a partnership owned and managed by Barry. It's already a partnership.
Yes, yeah, you give the advantage of it.
Okay.
There is a good reason of it here. They highlighted it. What is the good reason?
Maybe this one. Michael has come to bear with the problem.
No, it's not that. Look what they said first. Barry and Michael work well together. Barry deals with marketing, and Michael focus on the technical side. So if you are two partners, you can
split.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one advantage is split the work. Actually, you can define it differently. You can say that each one is taking care of the work he's more skilled to do. Okay, so split the tasks by skills between.
And I know really good ones.
Okay, that's good. Between partner. Oh là là, oh là là. Vraiment. Okay. Between partners. Tell me the second one.
Because it's not like... Because they're not the shareholders, they're actually owners together. They can't sell their shares, they will fight for their business to leave. It's kind of like a motivation.
Yes, they are both of them motivated.
Yeah.
What else?
They are friends.
Yes. Advantage of partnership. Yeah, but this is not in partnership.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a small business. When it's a small business and you have to look, for example, does your father has a business? Does he have a partner, or is he by himself? Does he have a partner?
It's
different.
Yeah, it's different. It's different.
My brother is having a business, and sometimes he's running everywhere. He doesn't have time to do anything. So the thing is, sometimes he's missing some opportunities. But once you are two, you have better customer service.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Once you split the work, you have better contact with your customer. Okay. For better managing tasks within business. Okay. And decision, what about decision? There are two.
Easy to make a decision.
So easy to take decision. Okay. I think it's
Enough.
It's enough. Okay. Disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, here I can, make a couple of ideas. Because it's not like they don't have shares, it means that they're not gonna have free, like not free, but easy investments. Because, for example.
Oh, yeah, I know, I understand what you mean. You mean that no big sharers.
Not big shares, it's not really easy to enter a business.
So not big cash flow. This is what you mean.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay. Not big and big is investment. Big investment. Yeah, that's right.
Probably.
What about? I'm seeing one. Sole trader is different as partnership. Sole trader. What is the difference between sole trader and partnership? And the company about liabilities.
I don't really know.
Sole trader, for example, you have less des droits vis-à-vis. How can I say that? Oh my God. About the council and the taxes, you don't have much taxes considering your business. But when you are in partnership, you have much taxes. Taxes, and I don't know how to say that. Unlimited liabilities. So they could lose, yes, unlimited liabilities. Taxes and unlimited liabilities. Okay, so it means that if they go bankrupt, they might lose everything. But when you are by yourself, you don't lose everything. You just lose the company. They might lose everything. Okay, because they are liable to taxes and to banks. Okay, what else? Ah, yes, I forgot that. When you are a sole trader, you work when you want and you stop when you want. Okay, it's up to you. I was having a small business. I was editor, so I would go to my work early in the morning, but I would leave early as well, leaving someone there. Okay, but when you are in a partnership, you are limited. You have to work much. Okay, you don't have much time to lose. Okay, you are limited by time. So I would say long hour of works, long works hour. Okay, because you have to follow your partner. You have to work the same amount of hours. Otherwise, your partner would be just mad. I'm doing by myself. I'm doing everything by myself. And you have as well employees. You have to follow the employees. You have to give the example to the employees. What is another disadvantage? Oh yes, this is the biggest. I forgot this one. When you are in, for example, if my brother dies, the business would go to his in my country to all the family, to all his family actually. So the family would just share the company. But between Barry and Michael, if one of them dies, what would happen to the company?
He will go to his partner.
His partner, and she might just sell it. Okay, so he's not fully, one of the partner are not owning fully the company. It will go, maybe they will just close it. Okay. Or maybe the partner of Michael would just sell her parts.
Usually in a partnership, as you know, there should be a rule, or between two guys or two girls, doesn't matter.
They put like a contract.
Like a contract.
If
you want to sell your...
If you die,
If you want to sell your 50%, out of this 50%, I will have your 1% back to be the owner of the company.
Yes, the bigger shareholder.
Yeah, the bigger shareholder.
Yes, it's exact, okay? But sometimes people will just go in partnership and forget those details, and this is what could happen. But this is good, okay? They will put a contract. If something happened to you, I have to buy 25% of your 50%, and the rest would go to your your wife or kids, and then they are able to sell it. But I would be the biggest shareholders of the company. But you have to have ready money to buy those shares, okay? So think of the death or the inheritance. I don't want to mention that. Inheritance of shares. Okay? So they assure a contract. Okay. A question, Nikita?
No.
I know that you are tired.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Okay.
This ends my. So the evaluation goes to you, okay? Because in here, discuss the advantage and disadvantage. You might say, but there are just two of them. They can create a contract, and that's it, okay? I think that we've seen everything. What should I do? Okay. Stop podcast.